Sheriff's Communications, Dispatcher 6. Can I help you?
Hi, this is Fox over at Chula Vista PD. I got an RP that's calling actually from Spring Valley and got connected with us on 911. It's about a suspicious person, possible prowler, and I've got the caller on the line now.
At just before 11 p.m. one evening in August 2012, a woman called the sheriff's department. Deputy Luke Burhalter and his partner were dispatched to the scene. They walked up to the house but didn't identify themselves or call out to the homeowner. Burhalter drew his gun.
Like I said, my gun was in front of me at a low ready. I don't recall how far my arms were extended. Something pushed down on my gun. Something made contact with my gun. And as that happened, my gun discharged.
This is what Burhalter later told investigators.
As soon as my firearm discharged, I think I said, "Oh," or something like that. I realized that a person was there, and then I was able to see that it was a woman, and that she was still standing, but she was leaning, she was bent over at the waist, and I think she was maybe holding her abdomen or holding her arm.
He had shot the homeowner, who called police. The woman was wounded on her chest and arm and was taken to the hospital for emergency surgery. The department called Burhalter's actions, quote, careless and imprudent, but he was not fired or suspended. He only received a written reprimand to go in his file. The light discipline Burhalter received is a trend, according to a KPBS analysis of 475 police use of force incidents. In fact, more than 97% of the time, officers received no discipline whatsoever, the analysis shows. And when officers were disciplined, it was sometimes for actions other than shooting or using force against a suspect. And most of the time, they were back on the street after short suspensions, if they were suspended at all. For example, San Diego Sheriff's Deputy Kyle Klein was disciplined after kicking a man in the face during an arrest. However, his discipline was for failing to document it. And San Diego police officer Elliot Simon, who tackled a man and knocked him unconscious, was suspended for 1 day for failing to turn on his body camera.
How many people are ever suspended or disciplined in any meaningful way? Not a lot.
DeRay McKesson is a civil rights activist with Campaign Zero.
Imagine if you had a job where it literally was just impossible to get in trouble, to be held accountable. That's what policing is.
Experts say there are a number of reasons why officers so often escape serious punishment, including the way police policies are written and how investigations are done. But topping the list is the strength of police unions, says San Diego attorney Eugene Iredale.
The power of the police unions, contract negotiations in which disciplinary procedures are negotiated, and the natural tendency of an organization and people to try to protect its own. For whatever reason, they get due process.
The San Diego Police Officers Association didn't respond to a request for comment. Police investigations of use of force have historically been done internally within the department.
Way too often you'll have investigating internal affairs officers who have a deep identification with and sympathy for the officer whose conduct is under investigation.
That said, San Diego law enforcement agencies are instituting reforms, especially after protests over police violence swept the country in 2020. The departments announced in April that they'll investigate each other when an officer shoots and kills someone. So the sheriff's department will investigate a police shooting and vice versa. Police use of force expert Travis Norton welcomes the change, but says departments already did thorough investigations.
And I understand that our critics would say, hey, you guys can't police yourselves. In my 24 years, there's not this big thing covering up stuff. We don't want that. We don't want that. That is not what we want. We want to maintain legitimacy with our communities. It's so important, especially now.
Some activists have long called on District Attorney Summer Stephan to charge officers for past shootings. But she says there is rarely a reason to do so.
In the time that I've been here, I feel that every single case has received our full attention, our best experience, and that we've tried to provide as transparent of a process as possible. But I think the voices should keep coming. You know, if I lost a loved one to a police officer, I would want more answers and probably would never stop asking them.
Claire Trageser, KPBS News.